All right, good morning. My name is Smitha Seshadri, and I'm EVP of Development at Bridge Housing. Today is an incredibly exciting day for us, and I am so thrilled to see all of you here gathered to celebrate with us. It's been a really long and arduous journey to get to this milestone and produce this beautiful building with 137 units. It took a lot of collaboration. I'm really happy to see Supervisor Safai here in the audience. I still remember, I think it was exactly about 3 years ago that the supervisor, myself, Mayor Breed, and Brenda Story, who is the former CEO of our joint partner here, Mission Neighborhood Health Clinic, we were all here in the thick of the pandemic for a groundbreaking celebration. And to come back here today and see this beautiful building and see our vision become a reality is really just so satisfying. I want to kick things off today with inviting our board chair, Ken Novak. We also have Skip Grodell, another one of our board members here today, to celebrate this event with us. Ken, please come up to the podium.
Thank you, Smitha. Welcome, everybody. Smitha said, I'm Ken Novak. I'm the board chair of Bridge Housing. Unfortunately, our CEO, Ken Lombard, is not here, something about cataract surgery, so he gets an excuse. And I'd like to thank all of you for joining us to celebrate the opening of this beautiful and truly special community. We've been at it a long time, and we're glad you're here. As you've heard, Islais Place is one of the first major housing developments in the Excelsior District in nearly a quarter of a century. This modern complex will make a life-changing difference for 137 families, including 35 families who are moving from Potrero Terrace and Potrero Annex into apartments set aside for them here. Islais Place features amenities and resident services that are core to Bridge's mission. That includes a new expanded location for Mission Neighborhood Health Center, which will offer low-cost medical, behavioral health, and dental care. This facility underscores our commitment to serve not just Bridge residents, but also our neighbors and the broader community. We are thrilled to be part of this important project, and we couldn't have succeeded without the invaluable support of so many partners who are with us today. And I should note, whenever you start to thank partners, inevitably you leave somebody out, so I'm apologizing in advance. This property was previously the site of a family-owned funeral home going back to 1929. Bridge was excited to learn the property could be available to provide affordable housing in a community that greatly needs it. Supervisor Safai and the mayor's office were instrumental in helping to arrange funding for the project. Fortunately, this project qualified under SB 35, state law, that enabled an expedited entitlement process. Still, we broke ground in the middle of the pandemic, 2021, and my goodness, here we are in the middle of 2024. These things take a long time. Development was therefore not quite as expedited as we would have hoped. Most projects connect to the power grid right at the sidewalk. For a variety of technical reasons, this project had to tie into the utility grid that way, several blocks. That added a great deal, I see Bob Nibby nodding. That added a great deal of time and expense to the construction, and we're grateful to the city for helping provide additional funds for this extensive trenching that was necessary to make this project possible. I'd like to express our gratitude to the mayor, to Supervisor Safai, to the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, and the Housing Authority of the City and County of San Francisco. I'd also like to thank Bank of America, the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee, and the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee. I'd also like to add to that the design and construction team of VMWP Architects and Nibby Brothers, the GC for the project, and the many other consultants who worked on the project. And finally, I'd like to again thank the Bridge team, led by Smitha, for their extraordinary work on this complex project. We applaud your unwavering commitment to tackling the city's urgent housing needs. For 40 years, Bridge has shared that commitment, and we look forward to continued teamwork with you to build healthy communities and to improve people's lives. With that, I'm delighted to invite to the podium Supervisor Asha Safai.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not enough energy in this room. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I mean, this is a joyous, joyous occasion. So again, my name is Asha Safai. I really appreciate being here today. And for me, this is coming full circle. I started in this city 24 years ago working at the Housing Authority under Mayor Willie Brown. And a lot of people don't realize that that housing was built, most of it, right after World War II. It was built as temporary housing. It was built to be not permanent, but yet 75, almost 100 years later, those buildings still stand. Some of the apartments in the city that are housing authority, they don't even have showers in them. So when we started work there in Sunnydale, and then I went on to work for Mayor Gavin Newsom, the idea was how could we recreate and reimagine affordable housing in this city? Here we are, fast forwarding 24 years later, and we're on a site that is going to have a free clinic, free dental care. We're moving residents in from Potrero Annex, and that is going to be ultimately torn down and rebuilt and reimagined. And when I came in as supervisor, one of the things I also wanted to make sure were that residents of this neighborhood would have a priority to be housed in these apartments as well. And so we expanded the bands. For those of you that are kind of technical in terms of understanding affordable housing, we worked with Bridge and the Mayor's Office of Community Development to expand the bands of affordability to include more working families. Because originally, this design was going to have 20 luxury townhomes on the back of the lot, probably almost where we're standing. And when I came into office, I said, that's not the vision that I have. That's not the vision this neighborhood needs. They need more housing for working people. Because janitors, teachers, nurses, those that are also working to survive and thrive in this city can no longer live in this neighborhood. A home that used to sell for maybe $200,000 is selling for almost $2 million in this neighborhood. That's out of reach for many everyday San Franciscans. So this project, and thank you, Nibby Brothers, for your amazing work, amazing homegrown. In fact, I think the Nibby family started in the Excelsior, if I'm not mistaken. So let's give a big round of applause to the Nibby family and Nibby contractors for their work. I have so many people to thank at Bridge because I think we went through 7 or 8 project managers. So, but we made it to the finish line. Thank you. Thank you so much for your tenacity, Bridge. There were many, many community meetings. There was a lot of community outreach. There was a lot of engagement and input. And this is what we have the result of: a beautiful community space, beautiful childcare space, a clinic on the ground floor. So Bridge Housing did not walk away and stayed committed. But there's one part of the story that I think is also really important to tell. And that is our treasurer, Fiona Ma. Because we were at the very end of this project. And for those of you that know affordable housing, know it's kind of like a cake. It's layers of financing. Well, that final layer, and so important, is that tax credit allocation. And she had the sole discretion and authority to reallocate some transportation tax credits over to this project. And we eventually would have gotten the tax credits, but what it did is it accelerated the timeline in a city that's facing a housing crisis. So I know she couldn't be here today, but I want you all to know that State Treasurer Fiona Ma played a very, very important role in making this project happen. So let's give a round of applause for Fiona as well. So many different community-based organizations were actively engaged in this project. I'm not going to name all of them, but they were absolutely instrumental in saying and coming to City Hall, even before I was elected, that they wanted this site, infill housing. This was a parking lot. This was a funeral home on the northwest side, and everything else was like about a 200-car parking lot. So we were able to turn concrete into a beautiful, affordable housing, mixed affordable housing building. And so originally it was about 90 units. We got it to go over 130 units. And that additional 30 were for those working families. And we also got housing authority residents that have been living in substandard conditions. Let's just be honest. That Potrero Annex was not meant to be lived in as long as it was. And now those families are going to be moving into brand new, wonderful apartments. So I know a lot of people say this a lot, but this is one of my proudest days. And I've been in office for 8 years, but this project means so much. The only thing we haven't finished is our free clinic. I think we're going to get there in the next few months. No, but it's true, and it's not because of anything other than the delays on the electricity, some of the other things that slowed down some of the funding. But even if I don't get to see it before I leave office, know that that's coming in the next few months, and that is going to be an integral part. I know Anna Robert, our new head of Mission Neighborhood Health Centers, is going to speak today. But it is such a wonderful development. So thank you to the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development for your tremendous work and staying with us. Thank you to Nibby Brothers. Thank you for Mission Neighborhood Health Centers. Thank you to the Housing Authority and Bridge Housing for doing a tremendous job of helping to reimagine a spot in this neighborhood, the most diverse part of San Francisco, to have some affordable housing and apartments that are built that haven't been built in 60, 70 years. And now we have 4. We've done 600 units, and this adds icing on the cake. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Should I bring up the next person? And I think the next person that's coming up is, do we have from the housing? Oh, you're going to speak on behalf of the Housing Authority? Okay. We have our assessor recorder and president of the Housing Authority Commission coming up next, Joaquin Torres.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Safai. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, close to afternoon. My name is Joaquin Torres. I'm your elected assessor recorder here in the city and county of San Francisco, but also I serve as the president of the Housing Authority Commission. And really what today represents is, as Supervisor Safai mentioned, is that what happens when we work as one city to realize progressive values that we all hold dear about bringing our communities together, our resources together, to ensure that we can invest, as the supervisor said, in those layers of the cake. And on behalf of the Housing Authority and CEO Tanya Ledejou and her leadership, ensuring that 35 of those units could be subsidized with project-based vouchers to ensure that layer of financing is present. It matters to the diversity of our communities. It matters to the health of our communities. And it also represents the best of government when we can layer financing, supportive services, and the coordination of those services to ensure that families who have been living in substandard conditions can realize a healthy, safe, clean, and holistic place to live where they are supported. I want to thank Dan Adams and his team for the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development for helping to make that happen as well, and to leading that One City strategy under Mayor Breed's direction to ensure that we could realize this vision to support the diversity of our communities here in the city and county of San Francisco and in neighborhoods like the Excelsior that many may hear by name but do not know by the streets. As a former resident of the Excelsior, just south of Geneva on Nagley, I can tell you what an extraordinary accomplishment this is and a beacon of hope for the community and residents of this neighborhood to realize that their homes are being invested in, their streets are being invested in, and there's a community of family members and community members who care about their future. I hope as residents you feel that. I hope as community members and city partners you see that. And I hope that all of us who work in city government remember how important it is for all of us to invest our time, our energy, and our hearts and souls in ensuring that we do what's best for the residents of San Francisco first. Thank you so much, Kendra Crawford from the Housing Authority, for being here as well, and to all of you who made it possible up and down the board. Too many to name by name, because I know we have a long waterfall to go. But congratulations to all of you who've played a huge part in this. Thank you to Bridge, and thank you to so many of the community partners who've made today possible. Viva la Excelsior. Next up, we have Carrie from Bank of America to say a few remarks. Carrie, please.
Good morning, all. My name is Carrie Dyken. I'm the market executive for San Francisco and East Bay, and it is my pleasure today to represent Bank of America, which provided the construction financing and equity investment for this long-awaited and impactful community. Today's event marks the culmination of a decades-long vision to add much-needed affordable housing to District 11. This is a huge win, not only for the residents who will call this place home, but for the larger Excelsior and Outer Mission community that will have improved access to healthcare through the co-location of the new Mission Neighborhood Health Clinic on the ground floor. We want to thank Bridge for our over 20-year relationship and for the opportunity to participate in the financing of Islais Place. Over the past 10 years alone, we have collaborated with Bridge on the rehab or new construction of over 1,200 housing units in San Francisco, and we look forward to doing more. Finally, strong public-private partnerships with developers like Bridge and public partners like MoCD and the Housing Authority of San Francisco, with the ongoing support of CIDLAC and TCAC, make the creation of sustainable and service-rich affordable housing possible. Finally, thank you again for the commitment to our city and hard work, and congratulations to all. I think it's Anna Robert next. Oh, sorry.
Hi, everyone. First off, congratulations to the Bridge Housing team and to the city of San Francisco. You provided leadership and commitment to affordable housing and to the Excelsior community. This is a tremendous success in our neighborhood. I'm Anson Snyder. I'm with Jones Lang LaSalle, JLL Capital Markets, where we provided the permanent loan through Freddie Mac's Targeted Affordable Housing Group. JLL has a long-established relationship with Freddie Mac, who understood the financing needs and worked with us to deliver a long-term mortgage. The mortgage here is actually a 17-year mortgage. JLL's affordable housing practice is a core business of our firm, and we stand with Bridge Housing and its partners on the long-term success of Islais Place. Your community investment is transformational. Congratulations. At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing Anna Robert, CEO of Mission Neighborhood Health Center.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. No, still morning. Good morning. Mission Neighborhood Health Center was established in the 1960s as part of a nationwide community health center movement, focused on bringing healthcare to the community in which they are located. We are aligned with over 1,500 community health centers across the country. In 2023, community health centers provided healthcare services to over 32 million people across the United States. That's 1 in 10 people across the United States. Mission Neighborhood Health Center itself, we provided care to over 15,000 patients in our community in 2023. The majority of our patients are community members from the Mission and Excelsior neighborhoods. Most of our patients are publicly insured with Medi-Cal and Medicare. We also take private health insurance, as a community health center, we serve everybody who enters our door, regardless of their ability to pay. Through this clinic, we hope to expand our services to another 6,000 community residents per year in the years to come. And we will build on the community health model to expand access to dental, behavioral health, and general primary care for children, youth, adults, and pregnant people who are residents of Islais Place and the broader Excelsior community. We look forward to deepening our partnerships with other community-based organizations, our neighbors, and businesses in the community. Mission Neighborhood Health Center is grateful for the advocacy of Communities United for Health and Justice and everyone here today for their support in moving this project forward. As you can see on the outside, from the outside of the corner, we are still in the process of building out the clinic. We hope to open in the spring of 2025. We thank our city leaders for the opportunity to grow and serve the community, and we thank you all for prioritizing medical, dental, and behavioral health services, an investment that we know is critical for a healthy community and a healthy future. So with that, I am honored to introduce Raquel Ortiz, a resident here at Islais Place, who I hope one day will trust us to be her provider of choice.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm a little shorter. My name is Raquel Ortiz, and I'm here at Islais Place, and I'm honored to share a bit of my story with you today. I grew up in Lakeview, which is affordable housing, with my grandparents here in San Francisco, so I am actually a San Francisco native. While some girls dreamt of marriage and a white picket fence, I dreamt of having a well-paying job and being independent and have stability. After becoming a teenage mom, I was thrilled to find a career in civil service and moved away to Virginia, where among other things, I helped place military families in housing. After nearly 12 years, I moved back to California to care for my dad and to be with my family. I later started a successful business offering construction, electrical, janitorial, moving, and data services to nationally recognized retail brands. Things were going amazingly great until COVID and the pandemic hit. My business took a tremendous loss. That being said, I took the brunt of those losses and found myself displaced. That's when I found my way to Islais Place. Thanks to the many good-hearted people like Andrea from the Mayor's Housing Office and Jarrell from Bridge Housing, I learned how to better advocate for myself and my family. Today, I have a home not only that allows me to care for my husband, who also has had some health issues, and be present for my family, but it also has provided me a foundation to dream again and to start charting a new course of life for our future. I have bigger dreams, and I know that the universe has better and bigger things for me to do, so I'm not really done yet. My goal is eventually to move on from affordable housing and make room for other families to receive the same support we did. But for now, I'm just grateful to be here. And lastly, I want to thank God, most importantly. Even in disappointment, I've had tremendous gratitude and feel that everything that He has put in my life is a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. It's actually stories like yours that really bring it all together for us. It takes a long time, as we've heard, to get these projects off the ground, but it's listening to these stories that makes it all worth it. I want to now introduce Carla Sorto, another resident here in our community. And I also want to introduce Marcela Cisneros, who will be interpreting for Carla. Thank you.
Muy buenos días a todos.
Good morning, everyone.
Estoy agradecida por tener la oportunidad de un hogar.
I am grateful for having the opportunity of getting a safe place
Seguro para mi familia.
for me and my family.
Yo y mi familia estuvimos sin hogar, viviendo en un shelter de emergencia por 10 meses.
Me and my family were homeless, living in an emergency shelter for 10 months.
Dios me dio la oportunidad de salir favorecida en la lotería.
God gave me the opportunity of winning a lottery
Y tener una oportunidad muy bonita
and having a beautiful and spacious apartment for me and my family.
El apartamento es muy bonito, espacioso para mí y mi familia y estamos agradecidos con Bridges Housing y el staff de Islais y la manager por su amabilidad.
We are very grateful with Bridge Housing, Islais Place staff, and property management for being so kind and welcoming us this way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla, for sharing your story with us. And thank you, Marcella, for helping us helping Carla share her story with us. I'd like to invite Ken Novak back to welcome Mayor London Breed.
Thank you, Raquel, y muchísimas gracias, Carla, for those wonderful and inspirational comments. It's important for us to stop and remember that you and your families and your neighbors are why we're all here. We can't lose sight of that proposition. So it's now my pleasure and honor to welcome Mayor London Breed to the podium. Mayor Breed has been a staunch advocate for affordable housing in San Francisco. It's not the first time we've done this, with a mission that dovetails very closely with our own mission at Bridge. We've been grateful to count her as an ally and a friend, and as we work to improve lives and strengthen communities here in our own hometown. Welcome, Mayor Breed.
I love groundbreakings, but I love ribbon cuttings much more. I gotta say, I'm so happy to be here in this particular community because this is only the second 100% affordable housing development that we've built here in over 25 years. So it is a big deal. When we talk about the need to build more housing, we have to get serious about it. And as someone who grew up here, I remember the mistakes of the past when we would tear down, like the projects I grew up in, we tore down 300 places that people lived and only built 200. So we knew that everyone who lived there wasn't coming back. Well, we're not making those mistakes anymore. Not only are we doing one-for-one replacement in places like Potrero Hill, but we're also providing opportunities to build new places in underutilized properties in our city. And these become the safe, affordable places for people to call home. And we've taken it a step further with neighborhood preference, so that when we build these places, the people who live in these communities, the people who are from these communities, the folks who have their dry cleaners and their nail spots and their schools and their bus routes, they get right of first refusal. And that's what's important about how we do housing. It just isn't about building it. It's about making sure that the community that's a part of this community that has faced the possibility of displacement, that they get a chance to be a part of their community in this extraordinary way. So I'm happy to be here to to thank each and every one of you for making this possible. This is a beautiful, brand new, nice building with clean and working elevators, and will provide a lot of great services. I do want to thank a couple of people who helped to make this possible, because it definitely takes a village. And that village consists of the folks who stepped up to the plate to make this project a reality. Thank you so much to Bridge Housing for all the amazing work you do to produce affordable housing in San Francisco. And thank you. We couldn't do this without money. And so it's the voters, of course. We passed, since I've been mayor, 2 affordable housing bonds totaling almost $1 billion. So thank you to the San Francisco voters for supporting these affordable housing bonds, and to the mayor's office of housing for implementing these bonds appropriately to help build these opportunities, and to Bank of America for continuously being our partner in these efforts. And thank you to the San Francisco Housing Authority for continuing to provide those Section 8 vouchers and other resources to really make this affordable. To Mission Neighborhood Health Center, to YMCA Urban Services, to a lot of the advocates and residents, and I see William Ortiz and Glecha is in the house. Thank you for making sure that the businesses and the opportunities that exist for this community are directly connected to this community. It does take a village, and I am so grateful to be here to celebrate this new village of the Outer Mission neighborhood of San Francisco, this safe, affordable place to call home that will help uplift and support over 137 families. We're looking forward to cutting this ribbon and letting you all go on with your lives, and also hopefully giving other families an opportunity to live, to grow, and to thrive here. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mayor Breed, for your support, not just on this project, but your continuing support to create much-needed affordable housing in San Francisco. Our board chair, Ken Novak, began the program today thanking our financial partners and the design and construction team and staff, but I want to take a couple of minutes, if you'll bear with me, to really recognize some of the individuals who are here today with us, really without them, it would have been impossible to build this project. So I want to start with recognizing our architects, Van Meter Williams Pollock. If you could please stand up. I know Rick is here, I know Ben's here, others from your team. Big round of applause for Van Meter Williams Pollock. We're actually collaborating with them on another really large and ambitious project, Balboa Reservoir, which is pretty close by to this development, and I'm really excited and looking forward to doing another one of these, hopefully not in 3 or 4 years sooner. We also have a couple of folks from Nibby Brothers. We have Bob Nibby, I see Greg Narvik, and I see Mike Nibby, if you could please stand up. And anyone else from your team. Thank you so much. A couple of other folks that I want to name, and if you're in this room, please do stand up. Our construction manager, Waypoint, civil engineers, BKF, landscape architect, Cliff Lowe Associates, our financial consultants from the California Housing Partnership, and our attorneys, Goldfarb and Lippman. I also want to once again thank the Urban Services YMCA, and of course to our joint partner, the Mission Neighborhood Health Clinic. We're really looking forward. Their space is going to be done, I understand, by March of next year. And you know, it's been a long time in the making. They were involved in this vision way before Bridge got involved. So I'm really looking forward to the health clinic opening up soon. And last but not the least, I'd like to thank my team. There's several of them here today, and if you could please stand up. And I want to specifically call out Anna Holm and John Moyman. And the Bridge team, please stand up, the Bridge development team. Everybody, all of you. So I want folks to know that we have 5 developments under construction, totaling nearly 500 units. We have Adrian here, who's working on Potrero. We have Connor, who doesn't have a project here in San Francisco, but is working on another project in El Cerrito that's currently under construction. Cumulative, we have 14 projects at Bridge that are under construction, and we have about 6 or 7 new construction projects, including the ones that I named at Balboa Reservoir, in our pipeline. And I'm telling you, it's not possible without these guys. So I really want to do a big round of applause for them. And lastly, I really want to thank all of you for taking the time today to come celebrate with us. Oh, actually, hold on. Just a couple of seconds. I would be remiss to not thank our property management and asset management teams. You know, once our work is done in development, the success of these developments really lies in their hands. And we have a couple of folks here today. We have Navneet, who is our resident manager. And I just want to name a couple of folks on the asset and property management team. Melissa Martin, who is our SVP of Property Management, Natalia Williams, who's our SVP of Asset Management, Hanbo Lee, Melissa Lipscomb, Giselle Najlis, Durel Kurilski, and Francisco Zamaripa. Round of applause for them. And as Mayor Breed said, it certainly does take not a small, a pretty big village to get these things done. I see Ed is here. Apologize, Ed, I forgot to name you, but Ed Parolon is a project manager who's helping us perm convert the loan, which is the next and final step for us in development before we hand it over to property and asset management. And now I'd like to invite all of you that have been waiting patiently to go out to the courtyard next door, and we will do the official ribbon cutting there, followed by refreshments. Thank you so much again.